Facebook peeps. Oh my gosh, it's been like forever since I've done a Facebook Live. So I promised, I hinted at it in my blog that hopefully you guys got. I was being goofy again, talking about the wall, metaphors and writing in the wall. And I really think, now I'm getting off the topic here because I did promise to do a reading, but I'm going to have to talk about this just a second. But I really, oh, good Lord, looks like, internet access here in Forks. I'm sorry, I lost you for a second. Oh, I might have to like go and use my iPad, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, I want to do a wall week, right? I mean, think of how many times I was astounded at how many times I used the word wall, whether it's in a metaphor or cliche sayings, but every single one of my books had wall in it in some way, shape, or form. So I think, maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll actually announce Wall Week. But for right now, I want to do a reading from a book coming out on Tuesday. I'm so excited about The Book Witch, which is a sequel to The Book Addict. So if you haven't gotten The Book Addict, really get it. It's a fun book. It's a good book. The Book Witch is a great book because it's what I call a squeeries, because it combines, it's like a double series. It combines the characters from Asset Management and the organization into the same book as the characters from The Book Addict. So combining two separate series into one squeeze. So here's a reading. Hello, everybody who joined. I'm so glad you're here. Here's a reading from The Book Witch, and I hope you'll get it on Tuesday when it comes out. Hey, Jaden, what you doing? Reading again? Franklin asked. Jaden kept her groan from becoming audible. Captain Obvious strikes again. Yeah, I was taking a lunch break and I thought I'd sneak in a few chapters. Anything I might be interested in? Not unless you're dying to read a good lesbian romance, Jaden reminded the science teacher. He didn't stand an ice storm's chance in hell of wooing her away from her interest in women. She wished that interest went further. In her 35 years, Jaden had never found the one. I'm open-minded. Maybe I would like the book. Franklin smiled and showed his crooked yellow teeth. Jaden tried to rein in the unkind thoughts that snuck into her brain. I'll just bet you are if there's lesbian sex in the book. Franklin tended to surround himself with science journals and all things academic, but he was a man after all. She shuddered, imagining him trying to interject himself in a sex scene. Ugh. She almost burst out laughing as she looked at his ridiculous 70s style glasses and silk disco shirt. She thought maybe he should try to catapult himself back into that era because it was definitely a time in history he obsessed over. This one doesn't have a lot of sex scenes, mostly fade to black, Jaden answered. Oh, hey, do you think? No, Jaden cut him off. Franklin, you're a nice guy, but you are definitely barking up the wrong tree. She held up her tablet. I hear bisexuality is all the rage. Jaden sighed and pointed to a mark on the dock. Let's go through that continuum again, Franklin. This is someone 100% straight. She moved her finger a foot. This is someone who's bisexual, moving her finger another foot. She added, and this is someone who is 100% gay. Jaden placed her finger 6 inches further from the last place she pointed to. Now pay attention, Franklin. See this spot that my finger is on? That's where I fit on the continuum. 6 degrees from 100% lesbian, which means I possess less than 0 interest in men. Does that help your scientific mind grasp what I'm trying to communicate? No need to be sarcastic. You could have said I'm not interested. I'm not bisexual, Franklin huffed. I have, but so far that hasn't gotten through to you. We've had this conversation at least 10 times. You're a bright guy. people don't change their sexual orientation on a whim. Okay, that's a clip from the Book Witch. Jaden is one of the main characters. She's the love interest of the actual Book Witch, whose name is Amara, and she's a pretty fun character. Hello, Anita. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Dorothy. Hello, Mildred. Hello, Anne. It's great to see all of you. Who else is here? Rebecca, Christine, Judy. Hey, who else is here? Linda. Nikki. Wow, bunch of you. Hi, thank you, Deborah. Sounds great as usual. Clever. Hey, that's great. Let's see. I'm just zipping along all the little comments here. So, wall week. What do y'all think? Should we do a wall week? There's plenty of fun things with walls. I don't mean to make light of what's going on in our political world right now, because there's not a lot of light to be had with lots of individuals not getting paid, which is a terrible, terrible thing. But it's kind of what I do. Sometimes I make light of things because it's just so depressing to not joke about certain things. Anyways, what else? Cheetos and walls. So maybe we can put a positive spin on the word wall by using it in different ways. I don't know if y'all read my blog, but I was talking about how, gosh, we use walls as metaphors to, for the heroine who's been hurt so badly that they put a wall up around their heart and we break through the wall and all of that. It's interesting how that metaphor is something that is not a good thing. We want to break down the wall, not build the wall. Anyways, and then I went into this whole, I even started writing my blog for next week because I have this one line in one of my books about somebody using promiscuity as a wall against commitment. And then I thought to myself, wow, that gave sort of a negative connotation to promiscuity. So we're gonna look at promiscuity next week in my blog, because there's some interesting sort of gender kinds of biases when it comes to women who have healthy sexual appetites. So can't resist talking about that. Anyways, if anybody has any questions, ask them. If not, I think that I might have to just sign off and try to do some writing, which has been terribly slow this last week. I barely get like 500 words written. I can't seem to get in the groove with this new story, so who knows, I might trash it. But that's okay, because lots of books are coming out this year. There's the Book Witch that's coming out in 2 days, 2 sleeps, as my wife and I talk about. And then there is Artist Free Zone, which really super excited about that, because everything, all of the proceeds, everything's donated about that book. It all will go to the Trevor Project, and it gets better. So I really hope that book does well, because I want all of those proceeds, which I've donated, to go to those 2 very worthy causes. And the book is terribly personal. So if you want to have a better glimpse at who I am, reading that book will absolutely give you that glimpse. Anyways, probably giving too much up on that. Anyway, okay. So I'm rambling, and I think I'm going to go do my favorite pastime, which is go watch CNN, because I cannot help myself. I'm just like glued to the news these days. It's probably a depressing thing to do. One of these days I'm going to get off my butt and write a political romance. I have an idea hit. There's sort of roaming around in this demented little brain of mine that it would be an interesting thing if you had sort of a devout Republican who's working on either working on a campaign or some kind of political figure in the Republican Party who falls in love with a devout left-wing liberal, and how they navigate those waters. Would that be very interesting? So I think someday I will pen that story because I think it has great, interesting things that can come out of that. Yeah, that's because it's comical. Yeah. Yeah, the wall is comical in some ways, and in others it's very, very sad because it has become such a lightning rod for so many other things that are not good with what's happening. Anyways, get the book Witch, and if you haven't read The Book Addict, I hope you will consider that. And thank you, everyone. Bye, Facebook peeps.